welcome everybody to the February meeting of the Philipstown Conservation Board. I call the meeting to order, and let's begin with minutes. We have to approve November 2025 minutes. I think everybody was here except Madeline. So do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We did December, and has everybody had a chance to look at January's minutes?
Yes.
I can't vote. I wasn't here.
You weren't here.
And Bob, I think.
I wasn't here either. I was sick.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have a quorum. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, first order of business is Christopher and Nicole Ficarra on 529 Route 90. Sorry for all of this. Thank you. So we have at one point visited this site a few years ago. It's,
That's not this guy, that's it.
well, no, it's a new owner now, but
Yeah.
it was a relatively recently built house, south of, quite a bit south of the golf course. It's a black house. Okay. so-
It was, there was a house there, and then Tim Rasick bought it, the
And rebuilt
architect, and put a second floor on it. And also with that, they also repaired the septic system. Charlie Polhemus repaired the septic system. And yeah, that was like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. So the new owner, they're closing on the property. I think they closed in January, but they want to put a garage at the base of the hill, at the end of the existing asphalt driveway, just to park their cars. There's no parking, just a 2-car garage, and then they also want to put this they have a walkout basement, and it's kind of there's this single level walkout basement area here, and they want to put a patio, because it's a walkout, but there's nowhere to go. It's just
Yeah,
the slope.
I'm familiar with
And
the
then,
spot.
and then they also want to put in a pool. The rear yard is terraced here with like 3 retaining, well, there's 3 retaining walls here. And they want to put a pool in the middle of that terraced area. Pool and a patio for the pool deck. There's an existing little construction route that still remains from when Polhemus repaired the septic system, which they will use, or they would use for construction of the pool. And
What's the light green line mean?
oh, that's just some erosion control, sediment control, the filter sock.
Oh,
So we would have that around the site to hold to mitigate for the for erosion control.
Jason, do you know where the expansion field is?
There isn't any.
There's none.
There's no reserve area for, it was done as, the house was built before there was requirements for, well, any requirement for this, before there was reserve areas required, and then it was done as a, this addition was done as, it was an addition with no increase in bedroom count. So they didn't have to bring it up to current code. I think they took, it was done as a no increase in bedroom count. So they didn't even have to do a repair. I think they did the repair before they, oh, you know what? No, they did the addition and then they did the repair a year later.
The top floor.
Yeah,
So, but why would you do a repair if you don't need to do a repair?
because the system was failing.
Okay. They just decided they'd go in there and,
Yeah, and
Freshen it up?
it's a pretty big system. I think it's bigger than what it, the system that was put in was bigger than it needed to be for a two-bedroom. I'm pretty sure.
Data stops maybe.
Charlie, he put in 10 rows of infiltrators. I think they're 10 rows of 20 feet. So he's got like 200 feet of infiltration chambers in there. It's a pretty big system.
I mean, obviously, it's an extremely constrained site.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you might be getting the award for one of the most constrained sites we've looked at in a long time.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's everything, it's all, I mean, I know I always say this, but it's already developed. So where they're putting the garage is already, that's already a lawn area, and it's already flat. There's really no grading associated with that. The patio, this area is terraced here, and it's not done. It's not great. So I think this will be an improvement with some new terracing here. And then again, this is already. This area here is pretty much, it's terrace, but it's pretty much exposed ledge rock in between. So, I mean, it's pretty much down to ledge rock, and they have planters in here for garden, little garden planters, because there's no soil. So this is all pretty much like exposed ledge rock
So
in here.
they're blasting or?
it's above ground.
It's above ground, and there'll be a little bit of there's not going to be any blasting. There might be
I
some.
thought it was an in-ground, sorry.
Well, if you look at, I think I did it. Did I do a profile?
There's a
It's one of
profile
those
graph.
half in, half
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a profile right through the site. So this is right through the center of the house and right down the center of the terracing, and so this is what we're looking at here.
Not, so some of it's in the ground.
Yeah.
And what was that square box if you go back down?
Says cover.
That says cover, yeah. Cover for what? This,
Oh, that's the well.
that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a well pit. So it doesn't have a pitless adapter. It doesn't have it's like an old well.
So
Yeah.
is this whole project in the wetland?
Oh, yeah, just the wetland, that goes across the whole property. The buffer goes onto
Is that
the other.
red line?
No, it's the blue. It's the WB line
Oh,
type
okay, got it,
with
got it.
the blue hatching. That's the 100-foot buffer. So, I mean, as you can see, it doesn't make sense. We really can't put the garage over on this side because, well, it'd be in front of the house and it wouldn't meet the setback. It would be a zoning issue, but more importantly, it'd be in front of the house. I mean, this is really the only spot for the garage, and it's already flat. So, and then as far as the, you can see what this looks like here. This is all like gravel and broken stone and exposed ledge rock in these areas. So, you know, there's really nothing, they have it terraced, but there's really nothing that you can do there. So they want to put a pool there.
I guess one of my initial concerns is that the proposed garage area, you know, there's history with the property. We had put a, you know, stop work order, on the, you know, on work that the previous landowner had retained a landscaping company to do, and they had cleared that stream corridor out almost completely.
Well, you know,
But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
the condition of that space there may only be representative of after the fact of them doing that work.
oh no, it's been there. It's been like that.
I believe that some of that area though was incorporated into the restoration plan that allowed us to move forward.
Well, you can see where it's cleared. I mean, this is the tree line from 2003. So this was the tree line from the aerial topo that we have from 2000. These symbols here. So that's the tree. And I was there a long time ago. I was there because we did this over here.
That area parts of that may have been replanted, you know, as part of that lifting of that stop work order a few years ago, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
So, Max, do you have, is there anything in the file about, I remember that, I mean, we have minutes and we had discussions about
I
it,
think there's a
so.
whole site plan we can reference. There's a whole site plan we can reference, there's a permit we can pull for the project, and you know, I think that's my initial feedback, is that a lot of those areas were incorporated into a whole restoration planting plan that the previous owner, we had agreed on with the previous owner, would rectify those violations.
oh, I never saw it. We weren't a part of that,
Yeah.
but
So,
you know, I can say that. You know, this is, I mean, the highway's right there, and the state comes and they mow it and they grade it out, and so I mean, I know that you want to preserve as much as, but it's already maintained and graded and mowed as highway drainage.
On the road shoulder.
Yeah,
Not down there.
yeah, no, not down there, but that's where it comes from.
right.
You know.
So what I'm gonna suggest is, A, obviously, we need to do a site visit. B, you need to stake this out for us. C, I think we should look at the restoration plan that was done, and within that, you know, I think we can distribute it electronically, all of us look at it. We might want you to stake a few things that would have been within the restoration plan, and then we'll figure out how to do this.
Stake some.
So in other words, just hypothetically, let's say we'll use Mac's example, that part of the restoration was within where the garage wants to be now. We might want the edge of that staked, more than just the garage. So you have the garage staked and where the buffer that if this is the case, I'm talking hypothetically now, that this was part of a restoration. And then it's not that we're gonna say, no, you can't build a garage there. We might say that's fine, but we might want some other mitigation. So it'll give us some idea of what was repaired, so to speak, what was, you know, mitigated, and then we can go and figure out how to do this.
And if you could also just evaluate alternatives. I know there's not a lot of alternatives there, but just show some alternatives and show how you can either rule them out or rule them in as a more expensive option or whatever. But just, I mean, I think we need to see an alternative plan too.
I mean, I don't argue that, Rob, at all. When I first looked at the plan, I'm looking like, oh, we're gonna put a pool on a steep slope. Well, if we're gonna put a pool there, maybe you don't need such a big patio. And then I stared again at the top drawing, and I'm trying to remember the property, but I vaguely remember where they had done all this terracing, and it's already disturbed land. So all of a sudden, gives me a little bit more comfort that, you know, when I was also thinking, well, do you move the pool further towards the house? But I think right now, at least on paper, you're using an area that's most disturbed.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it needs to be staked whenever the snow goes away and we need to go out and look at it.
I have one more question, Jason, about the septic field. Where's the pipe?
Good question.
Oh, so the tank is right around. The tank is right around here, like right on this corner, and then the pipe goes down. There's a clean out right there. So the pipe goes down, so this tank is here, the effluent sewer comes down like this, right along this construction route.
Okay.
Along the edge, and then it comes down here like this, and then it goes into a distribution box. And then that distribution box, these laterals are laid out like this. And there's 10 of them, 20 that are 20 feet long, spaced 6 feet on center.
So it hugs the construction road.
Yeah, it hugs this outer edge here.
Do you know if they have plans for the garage to put in running water or?
No, there's no plumbing associated with it, or
Okay.
just electric for like a light and some
Right.
power and. But yeah, there's going to be no bath or running water or anything.
And I assume the garage is one story, single story.
Yeah, yeah. This is what they had. This is the rendering that the architect did. So that would kind of follow the architecture of the existing.
More questions or requests? So, as I said, we're gonna need to do a site visit. I'm not sure when we should schedule it, because I
Yeah.
don't think the snow is going away
No.
that soon.
What kind of tree is that next to the garage?
I was wondering that myself. It's like it's like a spirit tree or something. I don't know.
Tree.
All right, so I mean, we got some. I'll take a look at. I didn't know that there was a restoration
Yeah.
plan, so I'll take a look at that and see how we can see how that factors into what we're doing now. I
Are there
wasn't.
any other boards involved in the project? Do you know?
No. I mean, they don't need. I mean, the garage is under 1,000 square feet, so there's no zoning board. There's no planning board. You know, there's no. We're not disturbing any. We're not disturbing any of thing that would be considered steep slopes.
Have you taken a preliminary look at how the action would be classified? Is it just type? would you
Type
say
2, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other requests, comments, questions?
I got one question. When we do a plan for restoration and taking care of it, does that transfer to the new owners?
As long as the wetland permit's open, yeah.
But if it's closed, I'm just curious how that works.
Yeah, again, we've had that issue before in the past of transferring that information to new landowners, and we've come up, one of the more novel ways that we kind of did that, it was on that one project on East Mountain Road where we had them install a placard on the property, to describe what was going on here, but that's been a difficulty, I think.
Which one was that?
That was,
East Mountain Road North,
yeah,
probably about a mile in from Route 9. It was building a small, we'll call it hut, by a pond.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I mean, we've done some mitigation plans restoration plans, where it's been a multi-year project. And that, if there was a, transfer of land ownership, that would stay through. But this, I don't believe, was a multi-year plan. I believe this was something that needed to be done immediately.
So they did everything that they needed to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't-
The question is, the question is, now that mitigation was done with the last owner, and now, is that, the mitigated area is now gonna be built on, like,
Because I got to be honest with you.
We're not
it
sure.
cancels out, yeah, so
It
we
doesn't
need to
look
look
like
at
it was, it doesn't look like a restorative stream. I mean, there's a lot that they could do
Yeah.
to make it better, so.
Maintained either, so maybe they planted and it died.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we were trying not to be overly punitive on forcing them to buy the most mature plants, I think, as part of that plan. Because we took a holistic approach at looking at the nature of the site, the resource that they violated, or had the violation for, so, that all got weighed into it. I mean, our intention was that area wouldn't be disturbed again, and then it would restore itself over time, as long as it
Yeah.
established itself, so, again, I mean, we were acting in a non-punitive fashion, I think, so, you know, we always wanna work with people, so at that, but yeah, if you guys need to take a hard look at that too, because it would, I see this and I go, well, where do we keep mitigating on this property, you know?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that they can do with that stream, because there's the ailanthus in there. There's that bush that turns red with the fins. It gets bright red. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We need to look at the older plans for the mitigation. Probably gonna want you to do an overlay of that. And it doesn't mean let's say for hypothetically, part of the garage is in the plan that was mitigated, doesn't mean you can't put the garage there. We might just want some other give back someplace.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's probably doable. It's complicated.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. It's gonna take some work, but yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll get that plan, and I guess I'll do what I can until we can get out there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if beforehand, we can have a map where we're overlaying,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we'll
that
get
would
that
be
done.
great. And then we can go out and look,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
So the two other things we'll discuss briefly is probably about 4 or 5 years ago, we had permitted Mystery Point, Manitou, to do control of Phragmites. And now there is and jump in, Max, when you want, a new contract with a different herbicide applicator, and they want to spray the Phragmites, which is going to require a completely new permit. And I think Max and Cheryl looking into was the other permit completely closed out, because one of the things that the two of us remembered was we had asked them to genetically test the Phragmites, because in the little marsh between the train tracks, I think just to the north of where this is, Mystery Point, they had actually, Columbia was doing a study, I believe.
It was, yeah, the property, it's Philipstown property.
Yeah, and they had actually discovered native Phragmites.
Wow.
Yeah.
And hybrid.
Yeah.
And, but so we were curious about that.
Wonders never cease.
Yes.
So they're working just to the north of there, that's privately owned property, and you know, I read through the permit conditions of that original permit that was issued in 2023, and we had essentially asked them to come back to us for a brand-new permit, like Andy had stated, if they felt the mechanical removal during the wintertime did not meet the restoration goals that they were looking to achieve. They're not, at this point. Cheryl, I believe, was coordinating with the company that was doing the work under the previous permit, because they were also supposed to submit annual reports to us to describe the successfulness of the program, which I don't think we've received since 2023. So we're looking to see if they can do kind of a summary report and submit that to the board as part of that old project. And I think that could be used as evidence to help build their case to, you know, in their new application as well. So I don't know if you read through or had a chance to read through the adjacent landowners' concerns about the project. A lot of it stemmed from the use of glyphosate in general, yeah.
Yep.
I wrote a brief email to everybody, but there are other herbicide alternatives, different chemical formulations that don't use glyphosate. But there is the potential that they could be more environmentally dangerous and dangerous to the applicator.
How's that application made, excuse me?
It's usually, depending on the scale of the project, it's typically done with a motorized pump system with a handheld gun that's attached to a hose, and the gun is a specific nozzle that's metered and has a, like, you know, you have a spray.
Spray it right in the water?
Broadcasting
Yeah, you
it,
broadcast it over the plants during the fall, and you drive through the area with like an aquatic machine.
Now, in the past, at Mystery Point, they had done clip and drip application, or no, they just,
Just mowing.
Just mowing.
Yeah.
just mowing
Yeah.
isn't gonna do it?
I think you invited us down there one time, we were doing mowing.
Yep, that was year, yeah,
was a
years
while
ago,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, they were doing mowing.
That's like cutting off a hydra's head.
Yeah. It's like mowing the grass.
And I guess there's really no logistic way to do rope wick application.
I think it would be even more
Or
environmentally-
solarization? Could they solarize it?
I think it's acres.
Yeah,
of-
it's a
Okay, it's
couple
too big.
acres.
So
I mean-
too big for clip and drip too,
Yeah, I don't even know how
Yeah.
you really do that feasibly.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think they were informed that they're gonna have to come before the board with a new application. So, and they currently, where this letter was generated is that they currently have an application in front of the DEC that's under review. And during that process, adjacent landowners are notified and have the ability to comment, directly back to the DEC and to the, company doing the work. And really, typically, as long as the applicator can answer those questions in a satisfactory manner for the DEC, they'll issue their permit. But we can, you know, hold them to a higher standard as well.
Is the water the river?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into the river
Tidal-
ultimately. It's a
tidal,
tidal
yeah.
marsh.
Tidal estuary or whatever?
Yep.
Tidal flat.
Tidal brackish marsh. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I think what needs to happen is the applicator needs to, the old permit needs to be closed out and we need to get reports. And that's beholden not only in who the other applicant was, the past, when I say applicant, applicator, excuse me, as well as the landowner. And then we need to have the new pesticide applicator in and give us a plan of what they're doing and what type of mitigations they're doing also to protect the area itself, wildlife, and the personnel spraying, because it's a big area. So, that's where
And
we
if
are.
there are alternatives, what are the alternatives? What are the half-lives of each of those chemicals? How are they gonna impact the watercourse?
So, that's where we are with that.
Yeah, but officially, we don't have anything in front of us yet, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see next month maybe, I don't know.
exactly.
Do they say what the purpose of doing this is?
It's restoring they're doing a marsh restoration project, so they're looking to have the native marsh plants essentially reestablish the areas that are now gonna be, the Phragmites will be removed from, and that ultimately will add to, you know, native biodiversity, native wildlife will be able to use the area, as intended. Phragmites has a tendency to form monocultures,
Yeah,
take over everything. It's very limited to what it can provide. Its habitat value is very limited. It pushes marsh specialist species out. So that would be my,
Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the questions we'll also bring up is, you know, just getting rid of the Phragmites, if it's not native Phragmites, well, what's your strategy then for repopulating the area with other plants?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Phragmites is most likely gonna come back.
yep.
Or something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, Diona Island, which is not far from there, it was basically we had a 5-year commitment we needed to, you know, impose, for natives to really restore themselves from the seed bank, believe it or not. So, you know, by year 3, with persistent annual treatment, you know, after year 1, you saw almost a 90% reduction in the frag permanently, and then you're just doing small follow-up applications after that. And by year 3, it actually looked like the marsh was returning to a native state just up by the seed bank. So,
Which would be a great outcome.
Yeah.
It's just the road to that
Yeah.
outcome, yeah.
yeah,
Is ensuring that we can get to the road to that outcome.
yeah.
You know, and the difference with Iona Marsh, while a bigger area, it was the state, and hopefully the state was gonna follow through. Here we're dealing with, you know, a private landowner, and it, you know, some people have unlimited resources, some don't.
Right.
So,
That's a good point.
that's a concern. So, we will see. So the other item that, just to update everybody, is Walter Hoving, the dam removal and stream restoration project. So Max and I have been going back and forth with both the DEC and Interfluve, which is the contractor. So, I guess it was yesterday, or the day before, we had sent out an email, and I'm just gonna read it briefly. The Philipstown Conservation Board has received notice that the proposed dam removal project at the Walter Hoving home has been classified as an unlisted action under SEQA. Can you please confirm whether this determination was made as part of a coordinated review with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation? If not, the town will need to adopt its own resolution under SEQA that the project will be issued a negative declaration and move through with the permitting process. And then we go on to say that not only will they need a wetlands permit, but in addition, because of the disturbances exceed 1 acre, they will need a SWIP, which will be handled by the town engineer. And we were calling it a building permit, but it's really what's that? Floodplain development, which is under Chapter 90, flood damage and prevention, which would be issued by the building department. And we were told today that, excuse me, when I go to the other email, come on, we want inbox. That it was not a coordinated review.
Which means that we need to,
We need to do a
we'll need to
review.
adopt our
A
own
resolution.
resolution.
Yeah, we'll need to adopt a resolution. So Max and I are gonna reach out to the town attorney, and we'll ultimately also have a conference call with Ron Gaynor and Greg Warner from the building department to see how we approach this. You know, so that's where we stand with it right now. You know, it is a big project. You know, I think if done properly, and making sure that it's not done on a micro level, but it's done on a locale level, could actually be beneficial. But it's a complicated project.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess the ideal would be to have a flood table, but I don't think that's really possible because that's where Walter Hoving's septic system is.
Yeah, we were asking them to try to incorporate adding a floodplain bench, a significant floodplain bench on Walter Hoving's home, property.
On that lawn.
On the
down
lawn,
there,
to
yeah.
try to absorb some of
Yeah.
the flood flow.
Yeah.
And I guess they ran that, and it really didn't give much of a benefit, and to act, they couldn't make it a sizable
Yeah, because of the
bench, you
septic.
know,
Yeah.
enough of a size to actually give any sort of
To
substantive
change the velocity, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they're through the Army Corps process, they're through the DEC process, so now it's on us to finalize everything on our end, and at
Yeah.
least have all the paperwork filed correctly. So, we're not dinged procedurally on this one.
Did they have to do something with the road? The dam, not the dam, but the bridge over the road was insufficient, or something like that?
Yeah, the
And the town
bridge-
said, we're not doing it again?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
undersized.
they're calling it a culvert, but it's really a bridge, which was rebuilt relatively recently. It's not significant, it's not big enough for the flows that could happen in large storms. The town does not want to be in a position to have to rebuild that bridge, but it becomes more complicated than that. To widen the bridge, it would basically be eminent domain to take property away from the landowners, both on the south and the north side. I don't know where Walter Hoving home is now, but they were trying to purchase the little house on the south side.
On that corner.
Yes.
Because that stream narrows down to like maybe 15 feet across with stone on either side.
If it's even 15 feet.
Yeah,
And it goes, it runs all the way down to 9D like that.
Right.
So it's a complicated project, and, you know, I believe this board, you know, we'd like to see the dam removed, and the area made safe, but I think that we're gonna do all the due diligence to make sure that, particularly the property owners downstream will not be adversely impacted whatsoever.
And it was the
But you're not gonna put in a bigger culvert, so.
I don't think it's possible to begin with, you know, I mean, if Walter Hoving bought that other house, I would assume that would make it possible. You'd be redirecting the stream that much more. But with that said, who's gonna pay for it? It's not gonna be Philipstown.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had these discussions with them and the supervisor, and I think we ultimately were able to kind of swallow this in terms of creating a justification for the project and be comfortable moving forward by looking at the small isolated area that they're intending to work in as a safety, to rectify a safety issue with the dam. Like, that's the primary goal, and then, yes, we're providing restorative components to the project for that small reach of stream, kind of, I think. And then, yeah, I mean, we've had this discussion. It'd be great to go figure out how to alleviate all the flooding issues all the way across 9D there, but it's not really in the scope of their.
Yeah, I mean, the
Right.
ideal
Well, yeah,
situation.
we can't put that
Yeah.
on them,
Yeah.
right? I mean, those are,
Yeah, I mean, but funds are coming from the state.
yeah.
So, I mean, in the ideal world, it would have been nice if it were looked at not just as a Walter Hoving project, but it was looking,
DOT or.
it would have even gone up into some of the property that I guess it's now the Highland Land Trust or Shakespeare, but also work all the way down and, you know, to look at that whole area, because it's, I don't know if you were at the site visit we did. I mean, it's
You mean the stormwater that comes off the top of the hill?
as well as the stream itself. The stream
Yeah.
is constricted, it looks like a little canal,
Yeah,
you know, all the way down to 9D.
yeah.
And once you get under the bridge at 9D, then there's a significant change in gradient, it drops, and that area theoretically would not flood.
What's the name of that stream?
What's that?
The name of the stream.
I think it's Phillips Brook.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Phillips Brook.
that's Phillips Brook.
That is Phillips Brook.
It's flooding it's flooding downstream right now, so it already is happening even though, without the improvements, it's happening.
Yeah, and I think it was happening even when that, we'll call it small reservoir or swimming hole was intact. You know, it just couldn't handle it. So, that's where we are with it, you know. I think in the end, we can make this a good project. Hopefully, I'm not being overly optimistic, but I truly believe that. So, Max, I think you had a couple?
Stormwater updates?
Yep.
Yeah, briefly, the town board announced that we'll be working with our design consultant, not design consultant, but actual engineering consultant, to do the updated MS4 mapping. That's actually gonna start in March, so making the public announcement here too, for anybody who's watching this out there. So that's gonna be coming up starting on March 5th. There's a public notice on the town website as well. So you'll see a couple of surveying staff out in Continental Village area, just marking, stormwater infrastructure. Probably over the next few months periodically. And I'm updating the stormwater management plan, which will be at the town board's hands next week for adoptance for some small changes to some of our procedural construction oversight program. Procedurally, those changes will be made in paper and formalized there and adopted next week. So that's where we're at with that.
You wanna trust the GPS one that I put together?
It's good, now the state is like, yeah, we need a whole laundry list of other things too, so it's gonna build off that. They were trying to just use that one to give us a map we already had, so we caught that, so.
Do we have any other unfinished business?
There's no use setting up a site visit for another property right now. We're gonna wait till Jason gets it staked out.
I think first, I
And the
think,
snow goes away.
not only that, he also needs to do an overlay from the
Okay, okay.
existing mitigations. And yeah, and I don't think this, even if it gets very, very warm, I still think we have several weeks of snow with us. So,
Yeah.
we've had a real winter.
Hmm.
So, we have anything else? Okay, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.